I wasn't sure how this season would play out with them leaving the bunker, but it's a good season. It might be better than season one. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Paradise Season 2. It's a Hulu show. It's another 8 episodes. Slight spoilers as I discuss the characters and what they're up to, but I'll try not to go into too many plot details. Quick recap for Season 1 in case you're still on the fence about the show. There's an extinction level event happening. We follow Xavier. He works Secret Service. He protects the president. And they are moving to a bunker in Colorado. So they've been there about 3 years. He's kind of close with the president. President gets killed. The show has some flashbacks as we see what Xavier's life was before everything was going wrong, and what he had to deal with Cal. We have a character named Sinatra who is kind of the mastermind of the whole bunker thing, and she thinks Xavier killed Cal. Xavier's like, I didn't do it. So he's cleared, and now he's trying to figure out what happened. It's the first murder in the bunker. And as he starts digging for evidence, he starts uncovering other secrets that Sinatra is not telling the people, mainly that everyone outside is dead. So now he's like, there might be hope. And he learns that his wife might still be alive. She left a voice note. She was mentioning Xavier. So he's pissed at Sinatra. Sinatra is trying to still keep everything together. The season ends basically with Sinatra being shot by this character named Jane, Xavier leaving to go find his wife. He gets on a plane, he flies out, he's trying to get to Atlanta to find his wife. And that's the gist of season one. Of course, there's characters and other things happening. Now, season two, like I said, Xavier is the main character, but we open up with the longest episode of the season. It's about 60 minutes, and we're not with Xavier. So there are a lot of flashbacks in this season. Then we have time outside, and then we have time in the bunker. So I try to talk about it in that aspect. The first essential flashback we get is with Annie, and that's the first episode. And Annie, we learn that she is a tour guide at Graceland at Elvis' home when the day happens. That's what they call it, the day. And she stays at Graceland. She's with a security guard, and they do the thing when they like day 40, day 100, day 200, things like that. And we see how everything is changing, how it gets super cold, and she's all bundled up. Her and the security guard are trying to survive. And then when it does hit present day, the sun comes out. She's by herself. The security guard dies. And her horse comes back. And now it seems just like things are changing. She comes across people after all these years. She doesn't trust them initially, obviously. But they seem like decent people. They make her food. They conversate with her. They have this rapport with her. And Annie plays a major part. We have Xavier. Xavier is outside. He was in the plane. Plane crashed. He makes it out. He gets saved by some kids. Then he ends up saving the kids. But then the kids rob him. That's the manner of being outside. But he's determined to get to Atlanta to find his wife. And he goes through a few things to make it there. But he does eventually make it there. And when he makes it, he meets somebody named Gary. And Gary gets his own episode of flashbacks. So it's like, that's how the story is told. Flashbacks outside, and then inside the bunker, Sinatra is recovering. And she remembers what happened, but she's kind of playing it safe. She's playing it smart. There's a new president there. So she doesn't really have the same power that she had before. People are still afraid of her. But the president is trying to step up and like, I'm not afraid of Sinatra. I'm the president now. Like, he's trying to have a backbone that he didn't have at the end of season one. But Sinatra is Sinatra. She does her thing, and we see her do some things, make things move without, showing too much energy. But then you also have Gabriella, the doctor, the therapist. She knows things are wrong, and she's trying to piece together what Sinatra is hiding, because she trusted Sinatra in the first season a little bit too much, and now she sees that she's kind of corrupt, so she's trying to figure some things out. People are not rebelling, but they know that something is wrong in the bunker, and people are getting in trouble. They're writing X all over the place for Xavier for exposing things, and they're getting arrested. A lot of people are getting arrested and taken away. So Xavier's kids, Presley and James, Presley mostly is trying to figure out what's going on and that, we need to fight back type thing. So that's what's going on in the bunker. Everything is not so perfect in the bunker. Jane is crazy. We've seen that. If you watch season 1, Jane is crazy. She's crazier in this season. And she does get her own episode as well in a flashback. And we see what she went through growing up and how she was trained. And she had a horrific childhood, but she's up there in terms of crazy. Like her episode is like, okay, I see why she's the way she is. But it's good stuff. It's good flashbacks. And the season is about connections. Everything we see is just connected. No matter if we spend a little bit of time with a person, like why is this important? It's connected in some way. Gary gets a episode like Annie, where we see his life before everything went down. He's a mailman. He's just a decent guy. He's just doing his job. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He goes home, he plays the game, and then he goes back to work. But as they start talking about the apocalypse, him and the guy online are like, let's put a team together. Who do we need to survive? We need a gardener. We need this person. We need a nurse. Let's put a team together. And as he puts this team together, he also rescues this boy. And that boy is the connection to Teri, because Teri sees the boy and Gary sees Teri. And he's like, hey, we got a place to stay. Come with me. And everything is just connected in this season. And it plays out in a fantastic way, where I'm very excited for what's to come in season 3. And I believe season 3 is the last season of the show. But this season was able to take us outside, make us care about more people, but also have us in the bunker worried about what's going on in there and how they are going to navigate through things, while still making sure Xavier is very important to the season in his mission of finding his wife and bringing her back home type stuff. So it's like there are a lot of moving parts. Put your phone down, because I'm seeing online people asking questions that's answered in the show, and it's like, when did this happen? It's like, just put your phone down for a little bit, watch the show, and they give you the answers. There's a lot of speculation that's going to happen since the season ended, with where the show is going and what's really happening. That's normal. But for simple stuff that's answered, pay attention. It's a great season of television. If you watch season 1, I think you'll really enjoy season 2. Like I said, I wasn't sure if season 2 was going to be good. I didn't know how they were going to tell the story, and they did a great job. I really enjoyed it. If you've never watched the show, put it on. 16 episodes. Season 3 is going to be the last episode, so you don't have a lot of catching up to do. You'll have a good time. There's great performances all around. Of course, by Sterling, but everybody, Jane's character, she's such a great character. She's scary, but she's a great character. Sinatra is the same way. She can be real menacing and threatening, and then she gets home with her family and she flips the switch. So it's a lot of great characters, a lot of great performances in here, and it's a great time. Paradise season 2. Did you enjoy it? Who was your favorite new character? I think I'll ask that. I like Link, but I really enjoyed spending time with Annie in that first episode. I thought she was a really great character. Those are just my thoughts on Paradise season 2. If you watched it, let me know what you thought about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.